Well, Vegas, for the third game in a row to start the season, has gone to 3 overtimes. And we were 4 seconds away from forcing the shootout. But the Seattle Kraken win 2-1 in overtime against the Vegas Golden Knights in what was a beginning of the season game. I really don't know how else to explain it. It was kind of wide open, but also low event. There was not a ton happening in the neutral zone. A lot of both teams were able to get into their offensive zone, and it was just back and forth, kind of like a track meet. And the shots that happened were good. Seattle had more of a jump in their step to start the game, which has been the case for the last 3 games. Vegas, you need to start on time, and you know what might that might help is for you guys to score first for the first time in 13 games. I'm counting preseason. The Vegas Golden Knights have not scored first in a game for 13 games. Playing from behind is not gonna be good. Especially because even though it's the beginning of the season and every team has this pep in their step, this team, we are so together and also trying to figure everything out, and it's exciting because it's the beginning of a new season for people to make changes and be the player that they want to be and all that jazz. The 3 overtime games in a row against Pacific Division opponents, the Kings, the Sharks, and the Kraken, who all 3 of those teams, no offense, should be worse than the Vegas Golden Knights. It's not good. And Vegas needs to be better. And that's the expectations that Vegas Golden Knights fans should have. And if they don't, that's okay. But also, we're so spoiled that is our expectations for this hockey team every year. It's so good. So Seattle scores first. It's a power play goal in the second because Vegas committed quite a few penalties. Lauzon, Sissons. It was not a disciplined second on either team. Vegas got some chances as well, but Seattle's the one that scores. It's Matty Beniers. He gets in all alone in front, has him and Hill, and he's able to just outstretch Hill's pad, buries it, and it's 1-0 Seattle. That is the only score in the first 2 periods. If I had to give you 4 options about who would score this goal, between Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, Pavel Dorofeev, and Adin Hill, who would you guess? Okay, obviously not Adin Hill. Pavel Dorofeev. The NHL's leading goal scorer, Vegas' leading goal scorer in the last year and so far this year, who has his 5th. It's a power play goal, and not from his usual spot on the right side of the ice facing the net, but he was on the left side. And the Vegas Golden Knight broadcasting team put up this graphic of how many power play goals, where on the ice he was to score them. That was last year. He had 13 power play goals. He had 2 from that side, and then the rest from the other side, 11. And then this year, I think it's 4 of his 5. I'm gonna double check. That was his 4th power play goal of the season. Yeah, that's insane. So 4 of the 5, which, hey, that's fantastic that our power play can be so efficient, especially when our penalty kill kind of sucks. And it's just, what are you going to do? Mark Stone's playmaking ability, especially on the power play behind the net in Gretzky's office, has been phenomenal. Completely underrated. I feel like we don't talk about that enough of his game because it's always the defense, the takeaways, and his lack of foot speed. But it's really incredible how well he's able to pass the puck from behind the net towards a bunch of people. There was the 10 seconds before going into the 3rd period where Vegas was on a power play that he had a pass to Jack Eichel on that side, and Jack Eichel, he had a shot right before the end of the 2nd period. So Dorofeev ties it. It's 1-1. That's how regulation ends. And in general, the vibe of this game, the feeling of this game was mostly like Vegas just needs to show up and be better. I know we're missing Hannafin, and Adin Hill looked a lot sharper tonight than he did against LA. He looked like he seemed like he was tracking the puck a lot better, which is fantastic, and the goal that happened in regulation, not really his fault. The goal in overtime, however, that could be painted in a different picture because it's with 4 seconds left to go. And in general, I would say the second period, Seattle did better. The first period, Seattle probably did also a little bit better. The third period, Vegas mostly dominated, and they weren't able to show that on the score sheet because Joey Decord had a fantastic game. Joey Decord seems like a great guy. Him shutting us out in the Winter Classic, it's a healthy rivalry thing, you know, where it's like if he wasn't the way that how good he is against my team, I'd probably like him more, you know. But Aiden Hill has a tendency to have some antics with pushing and shoving. He's a physical goalie. He will push and shove, and anyone that gets in his crease, he's not afraid to, you know, throw some bodies around. And Jared McCann wasn't necessarily in his crease, but Aiden Hill kind of gave him a shove anyway, which I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. But Jared McCann took that opportunity to fall forward. He was probably falling anyway, legitimately, but into Mitch Marner. I think he aimed towards Mitch Marner, knocked him off balance as somebody from the point was setting up a shot. It shoots in. Hill makes the initial stop, but McCann buries on the rebound with like 3 point whatever seconds left to go in overtime. And so Seattle won. Congrats, you guys deserve the win, and I'm not bitter at all. I just wish that my team had played better. Even though Doro, I don't know if we're going to be able to afford him at this rate. He has 5 goals in 3 games, which I'm going to math. 5 goals in 3 games times an 82 game pace. He's on pace for 137 goals. Hold on. Yeah, no, he's keeping it up so far. That's incredible. 137 goal pace, 3 games in to the regular, just great. And that's a good problem to have. Not knowing if we're going to be able to afford Dorofeev, that's a great problem to have, especially because he's an RFA. So if we can't afford him for some reason, even though we should, we'd be able to trade him still, his rights. Anyway, but please stay, Doro. Please, sign for obviously less than Eichel and Marner, right? But you can get 10. I think we've established that at this point, right? Vegas Golden Knights have been power play merchants. So even though Doro is Dorofeev and Hill played better, Vegas's power play still looking fantastic. There are areas in which Vegas needs to improve, including their even strength scoring. And they generated chances, but a lot of the chances seem to be kind of directly into Joey Decord's body instead of on the outskirts, which there was one that it was a good save by Dorofeev. Or not Dorofeev, Decord. I can't remember who shot it. It might have been Eichel, but it was a good shot and it wasn't actually directly centered. I just remember that one specifically. I've, in general, been impressed by Vegas' fourth line between Howden, Kolzar, and Sissons. Sissons had that penalty in the second period, but in general, he's a fourth line player and he's done his role solidly. Lauzon had a better game today compared to the first 2 games. I thought that he limited his mistakes while still bringing the physical play that he brought, which I didn't mention in the last video, but he plays a very physical game, and that I think Vegas kind of needs a little bit more of. It was fantastic to hear Dave and Shane again, because this is the first time I've been able to hear VGK's broadcast, because we had ESPN, it was a national game, and then on TNT or whatever. So this is the first time hearing the Vegas Golden Knight broadcasting group again, and it just instant happiness. I love our guys. They do such a fantastic job. So, notes. Start better, score at even strength, and yeah, be the Vegas Golden Knights, who should be up there, but we're 1-0-2 to start the season. And that's not as great. If before the season, if I was we were playing the Kings, the Sharks, and the Kraken, I would have wanted at least 2 wins out of that. But we don't, and so we gotta start digging up. 4 points though, so I guess that's almost 2 wins. Yeah, but our next game is Tuesday against the Calgary Flames in Calgary, and I think it's an earlier start time, which. Yes, by 1 hour. Oh my goodness. This season is going to be brutal for me with the late start times and the fact that it's more condensed. So that month is going to be kind of nice for me to just be able to sit back, relax, enjoy watching international best on best. But holy moly, East Coast. Sorry to people that love this sport that don't live in this, the North America. Oh, I cannot even imagine. But it's still fun. Hockey's fun. this is great, and I choose to do this, so it's really my own fault. But hey, that's showbiz for you. I went to a birthday party that was Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift themed, and the only glittery thing I own is my Vegas Golden Knights jersey. So I wore that underneath like a tux, and that's why my hair, it looks the way. Anyway, it was fun, but you know. Great. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It would really help me out. I really appreciate it. That's going to be it for Game 3's nightly review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.